Okay, welcome back. So I've got two more videos to wrap up this tutorial series. So in this second to last one here, I'm going to show how to do a little reload action when we want the player to play again. So what I've got right now is I've got the ship that can fire, aliens get destroyed. When I've destroyed all three aliens, the word victory should pop up. There we go. But now we need some text that pops up underneath the word victory that tells them that they can press the letter R and reload or replay or something like that, and begin again. And we'll go ahead and we'll add in a transition that gives it a little bit of visual eye candy so that it looks a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you want to go to your level 1 and you want to go to events, and we're going to go here to the drawing event here that we did before that basically puts the words victory or you won or something like that. And we're going to take this draw text block. I'm going to hold down Option on a Mac. If you're on Windows, you can press Alt. So I'm going to do Option and left click and drag, and that duplicates it. And I'm going to put a second one there, and I'm going to go ahead and put in these instructions. Okay, so press R to replay. And for the numbers here, I want it to be at the same location on the x-axis, but I want it to be lower on the y-axis. So you just have to guess a little bit here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it at, I'm going to try 240. Remember, you want it to be positive number is going to go down, negative number is going to go up. So I'll do that. Okay, so now I actually have to set up what R does. So I'm going to come up here to Settings, Controls, and I actually have to make a new control. So I'm going to click to create a new control and call this R, and right here for the key I'll press R, and there you go. So now it's a new official control. Okay, so now that that exists, now I can actually do the code for it. So I'll do add event, and I'll go ahead and I'll say I'll do a when updating. No, actually, sorry. Input, keyboard, and I'll choose my control, and I'll say R, and I probably should have renamed it. So I'll go back here and we'll call that replay. That makes way more sense. There we go. Okay, so I'll call it replay. When replay is pressed, I'm going to come over here, and you could probably guess that you're going to have to look under scenes, and under scenes I believe it's under game flow, and here's reload right here. You could also just look for the word reload, and there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and use this second one here. This gives you more visual choices than the first one. The first one here just gives you a single transition like this, and you'll see what the transitions are. There's a crossfade and some slides, and then you can choose for how long it does it. But if you choose the second one, then you get these different transitions, plus you get to use some colors and some time. It just gives you some more choices here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose blur out, and I'm going to do blur in. And I'm just going to do a 1 second for each one. And then you can go ahead and choose whatever color you want. And since we're in space, I'm going to go ahead and kind of choose a dark purple. See what that looks like. And unfortunately, it doesn't remember the recent that you just had here. So I'm going to try my best and just remember it from memory here. It's not quite the same one. And it doesn't even remember it over here either. Okay, I know there's a way that you can do it. Yeah. So I know there's a way that you can do it. You can just remember some of those numbers there. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. That looks pretty darn close, if not the same. Okay, so that should be it. So I'll go ahead and test that now. Okay, so I basically played and won again, and as you can see, the text is going way too far off the screen. It's a little bit too big, so I'll show you how to resize it. You could go on to a third line and have it say press R on one line and to replay on the third line. So that would solve it right there. I will show you how to resize it right now real quickly, and then we'll move on. Okay, so we're back. So where it's getting its font size from is from the actual font. So if you go back to your dashboard, fonts, and you open up your font here, it's getting it from this size right here. So I could make this smaller, but then that's going to make my my win text or my victory text smaller as well. So I'm going to go back to my fonts here. What I could do real quickly is I could go back to this win font and I could right mouse click and I can choose duplicate. And here's the copy. And then I can right mouse click and I can choose rename, and I can just call this I'll just call this something like directions. Okay, and I'll say apply changes, and I'll open that one up. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and change the size, and I'm going to guess maybe 26. Change the color a little bit. So this gives you an opportunity to change things up a little bit, so that's kind of cool. Okay, and you can change other settings if you want, but I think that's pretty good for now. Okay, so I'll go back here, and okay, so I had to pause the video. So it's easy enough to go ahead and add in a second font as I showed you there, and I thought that would solve it. So what I'm going to go ahead and remove the second font. Unfortunately, what I'm having trouble finding out, which I'll try to solve maybe later on, is you can only set the current font to one font. You can't have it set to multiple fonts, because then Stencil will be confused as to which font to choose. It doesn't know. And I don't think you can actually have multiple fonts loaded up at a time, which is unfortunate. So I don't think that I can do it. But in the next video that I'm going to make, I'm basically going to show you how to put some text up on the screen, but as an image, not as a font. And that would solve this problem. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hold down Option, left click, and I'm going to drag out a third box, and this one's going to say to replay. And this one's just going to say press R. Okay, that should be good. And then this one I have to lower it. So we'll try 300 maybe. Okay, good. Okay, so there you go. It's okay. It could be centered a little bit better. So I need to play with my X value for this instruction right here, but let's press the letter R. Okay, so there is definite lag when it does that transition. I don't think it's anything wrong that I did. I think it's the actual game engine. So hopefully that'll get better with time. But it's working, and there I am, and I can play again. Okay, I will see you in the next video where I'll show you how to make a simple title screen. Thank you.